Hi, Dave here, and today we're going to be looking at the Traktor Kontrol F1 Part 3. But before that, check this out. Can you see that? That is an amen brake. If you don't know what an amen brake is, where have you been? Go and check it out. So today we're looking at the stems. Okay, if you don't know what stems are, if you go to Native Instruments website and you check out this section here, which is under the S8, and I'll put up a link in the description as well. If you download these stems here, then you will then be able to download them, obviously, and then you can drag them into Track Collection, and they all automatically go under the stems. Okay, so they're all down here. Now, they are slightly different. Just a quick mention of what stems are. They're 5 files in a compressed file. So if you right-click on here and click Edit, you will see that they are .stem.mp4. So they can be treated exactly the same as any MP4, but they are going to be bigger because there's 5 files in there. There's 4 stems that run along, plus the master file. Okay, if you do want to know exactly how to make them, again, I'll put a link in the description where I did a video for Point Blank Music School. But one thing you need to know is once you've installed these, you will need to right click and analyze before you drop them into your deck. And what this enables you to do is, if I drag this up now, you'll see that it looks different. So I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what stems do. This one here, they've got drums, bass, synth, and atmosphere. Now, when you're pressing play on this, if I skip on a bit. Now, if, for instance, I wanted to get the low end, I could just take the top and the mid out. But because it's one file, you can never get that true. So what they've done with stems is they've allowed you to be able to cut out things completely. So the master file plays, and the moment you take down the other individual tracks, it cuts seamlessly into the individual stems. What that means is, if I press play now, now all you can hear is the drums, just the bass, synths, and just the atmosphere. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that using the F1. Now, this beautiful piece of kit here on the left hand side I've got is called the D.2. Now, the D.2 is discontinued, unfortunately, but it's one deck of the S8. And the reason why I've got it here is for a number of reasons. One, because what the F1 can do for remix decks and the amount it can do, the D.2 can do the same amount for stems. But D2s can do partly remix decks, and F1s can do partly stem decks. Hopefully you're staying with me at the moment. So what that means is, if I can use the D2, and I'm not going to cover the D2 today, but if you do want to see the D2 in more depth, even though it's discontinued, great bit of kit. And I'm also using it as a powered hub as well for all the other controllers, because I've got a Z1 here, 2 F1s, and a D2. So using my mouse, you can see here, this is the volume. We've got our filter and we've got our send effects. Just like remix decks, you can send 1 or all 4 or 2 or 3 to the effects. Okay, so if, for instance, I wanted to hit this here, take these off here, this is only affecting the bass drum or the drums. So you can send stuff to that. You can also filter things. Now, obviously, using a mouse is quite tricky, which is why you can use the D2. But the F1 can do a lot of the stem work that you need. Now, here I've got, like I said, 2 F1s and a Z1, 2-channel mixer, and you can MIDI map this to 4 channels as well. Now, because the camera is right near this one, I'm going to concentrate on this track here, and I'm going to hit browse. You can see that it's moving now, and I'm going to go and load, I don't know, this one here. Click it and browse. Now, because this is set up in Traktor. The moment I put a stem deck in, it's going to turn this into a stem deck. Not a remix deck. You don't need to do anything special. It just does it automatically. Now, if you've got an Z1, you can hit mode and B, and it will play the track for you. Now watch this. Now we've got a nice little light show. Let's wait for it to kick in. Here we go. Pretty cool, eh? It looks great for videos, by the way, even if you're not using it. So what this does, okay, what this does here is you can see these are your drums, bass, chords and melody, and they light up exactly like they would on the screen if you look at shadow gaze there. So we've got here, we've got the volumes for each one. Okay. So if I just turn this back up. Wait for this to kick in again. We've got the filters for the drums and everything as well. And we've also got mutes down here. And if we hit shift, we've got the effects send as well. So I can have just the effects on the drums. Now obviously if you had an X1 or you turn one of these F1s into, say, the overlay, which I've showed you in part 2, or you can use the D2. So over here, if I hit deck B, all these at the top here will use my effects. You can see that it's moving there on delay. And so therefore, if I do want to use B on 2, nice. So essentially, it's a very quick video just to show you that the F1s are still an amazing piece of kit with the software, because we've now seen it as a remix deck, an overlay for decks A and B or C and D, plus we've now got stem control as well. So we've got 2 more parts coming up. I'm going to fade out with a little bit of a demo, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy creating.